Let's discuss the Bitcoin bull flag continuation pattern, which is this right here, this big flagpole. Lots of people, lots of channels might not be showing this because it's not an obvious channel, but there it is. There it is. That's a bull flag continuation pattern. Now, this doesn't have to come to fruition and actually continue, but based on what I've seen, I think that is likely. Now, I've been kicking around, maybe Bitcoin goes to 80, 90,000, and that's a top and comes back down, corrects, and there's just further correction from there. It's interesting. You don't want to get ahead of your skis here because we're way early in the cycle. But that, without a doubt, right there is a bull flag structure. And inside of this, I drew this in last night, this yellow triangle. Let's go down to the 1 hour. If you've watched my analysis, when these channels occur, that's when my analysis really gets good. And so I actually just got out of my long position after this broke out of this yellow triangle. And that may have been a small mistake. I mean, I took profit, but the real structure in play here is this blue channel. So I think even if Bitcoin comes up from here, well, we have this previous little range here. Put a horizontal line there and a horizontal line basically here. These two red lines here is basically where Bitcoin's been bumping its head recently, and I would expect there to be some resistance there from 68,500 to like 69,000. So I'm watching for a rejection there. I'll go to my trade here. I've been longing and shorting at the same time, and that can be confusing to a brand new person. It can be confusing even to a person who's been around for a while. I've been doing it lately, and it's really working well. But I think the real resistance here is at 70,000, the top of this blue parallel channel coming down. In the next 24, 48 hours, it's 70,000, and it's gradually getting smaller. In a week or so, it'll be 69,500. So that's interesting. Keep an eye on that. Lots of times with these triangles on Bitcoin can kind of just ignore them, right? It's considered a breakout here, but it might just kind of just go like this, right? And maybe even ride this trend line down. So let me go show you my trade I'm in. I've been hedging with longs and shorts. Right now, I just closed down the long for a profit, and you can see my short here is underwater, but that's all right. I will take profit on the short eventually. You can see my entry price is 66,942, and you may think that looks like a bad trade, but I'll take profit on it here eventually. Bitcoin will come back down here in the near future to underneath that price, and I will take profit on it, and I will also open up another long. So the funding rate is positive for shorts right now. So you see I have realized profit here. I'm getting paid to keep this short open. So if I opened up a long in the same amount right now, I would pay money to keep that long open, and the short would counteract that fee. So I'd be paying no fees. I don't want to get into this, what I'm doing. It's really working well. You have to have a lot of experience and a good feel for what's going on. Like I said, I just closed down my long right now, and most people will be like, why would you do that? It just broke out the triangle. Well, I think there's heavy resistance basically right now where Bitcoin's at, and I think that's kind of a fake breakout, and we'll see what happens. But what I'm doing here is I'm just staying safe. I'm hedging, and if Bitcoin starts ripping, right, if there's a big breakout above this, I'll get back into a big long and counteract this short. So basically what I'm doing is I'm counteracting positions. So instead of like selling the short for a loss, what I'll do is open up a long in the same amount and just counteract any losses, right? It'll just basically freeze my trades in time to where I can't win or lose. I'll just be even. And then I would just worry about getting liquidated, right? 76,000 is my liquidation for now on a short. And I don't think that's happening. In a nutshell, my analysis I'm trying to get to you here is this will probably go on for some time, this consolidation. One thing that worries me, we could be looking at Bitcoin coming down to 60,500, 60,800. Right? There's this this whole range support is basically in this ballpark here. Just call it 61,000 area. It could easily come down to there. Let's put a green line on the Bitcoin halving. Here's the halving date, tentatively scheduled. It's looking pretty good. 4/20/2024. If you guys could get the word out to the bigger channels and spread the fact that that's a palindrome, 4/20/2024 is read backwards exactly the same, 4/20/2024. I think the crypto community would like to know that. So if you guys could go to the big channels and comment there and try to get their attention, right? April 20th, 2024 is a palindrome back and forth. If that's when it occurs, not only is it 4/20, which the crypto community will find very interesting, it's also a palindrome read backwards, 4/20/24, 4/20/24. Okay, let's get that info out if you guys can. And so, yeah, consolidation for a while, and it's in a downtrend. So you might think I'm kind of crazy for keeping a short open, but like, let's go back here to Link. Over 2 months ago, I made a video here on Link talking about Link's over $17. So I'm shorting, and people, few comments came in, and they're like, "Oh, this is gonna rip. You're stupid," right? That was right in here. I started shorting at like $15, and I leg in. I always leg in to my trades. I started like shorting right here and legging in, and it got over 17. I made a video. I said, Link over 17, short now, right? Blah, blah, blah. And so I got trapped in that position, and I was underwater, and it looked like a terrible, terrible mistake, terrible trade. But I ended up getting out of that before the Super Bowl at like 17. I had my entry price in at $17.20, and I took a loss. I sold like up here, like 19 something. And I took a loss. I thought the Chiefs +4 was a mistake in the Super Bowl. So I got on the Chiefs, and I needed the money to do that. And then I used that money to pay off credit cards. And now, starting here in the middle of March, when Bitcoin broke its all-time high, I am now back in the crypto sector. But like, I just got out of that trade because I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't even want to. I just jumped in because this range here looked tasty, and it looked like a terrible trade, right? But look what happens, right? I would have I had my entry price into 17.20. I'm just showing this just for perspective, because I know the mentality of this market and social media can really screw up your head. And I'll go back to the Bitcoin chart and tie this in to what's going on now. But I had and I would have kept, if I would have kept that position open, I would have kept adding to my short all through here, right? And then my entry price here, this red line, would have slowly came up, right? And I would have had my entry price way up here, like $18, $19, right? And then eventually, because Femex pays me to keep my shorts open, I would have had a very nice profit just on the fees that they pay me, right? Just the fees alone they pay me for keeping a short open. Plus, I would have had my entry price way up to like 18, probably $19, because I leg in, I never ape in, right? And I would have had all this opportunity to take profit, right? You know, maybe I thought it was a bad trade. Maybe we were going to rip way up, and maybe I would have just had my shorts set to close down. And look at all these candles where it would have closed, right, for profit. And right now we're at $17.52. Over 2 months later, right? It looked like I made a terrible trade here, opening a short, legging into a short. But look where we're at now, right? And this is likely coming down further. See how that's working? Over 2 months later, right? I had people come in the comments section. crypto market's ripping. This is going, blah blah blah. Right? Remember all the hype, just the frenzy that was going on. Right? Well, over 2 months later, what happened? Right? I just wanted to bring that to your attention. This is, time doesn't end when you go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, right? This continues to the right forever, and I just want to keep you tied down to reality. Bitcoin is pumping a little bit right now, so maybe I should have let my long run a little while. I suspect if Bitcoin even pumps up now, I expect it to stop between 68,500 and 70,000. I expect it to get rejected and come back down. The reason this is working well for me is because even if Bitcoin does come up here, I will nibble. I'll put just a little bit more into my short, right? Up into this ballpark, because it's most likely coming back down if it comes back up. This dotted line has been support for the first time. I showed this recently. This dotted line in the middle of this channel was resistance many times through here, and for the first time in here, I'm not going to go make this video too long. Right here, it was support for the first time. So watch this dotted line be support. That's in the ballpark of 65,700, 65,900 today, and as you can see, it's going down. That's a good support line to watch. And interesting, this red line, the bottom of this range, this is called 61,000 area, intersects with the bottom of this channel here, April 10th. And you can see if Bitcoin is going to go, I can't, it's just speculation going to the right, but I just want to show you this. I do expect this downtrend to continue for some time. The possibility of coming down here and bouncing off this previous range from 50,000 or so to like 53,000, this ballpark, just say the low 50,000s. Bitcoin coming down here, if it breaks out the bottom of this structure, boom, that could still happen, but this would be a wonderful time to buy, whether you're trading or just on the spot market, because this is probably a fantastic area to buy. If it comes down to the low 50s, you want to probably back the truck up. And I'm just a guy on YouTube, so don't listen to me. Do your own homework and do what you want. But that would be pretty tasty vittles, in my opinion, folks. It does look like a bull flag continuation. The whole channel itself, if I count the bottom structure here, is a $12,500 target. So if it broke out from 68,000, you'd be talking about almost $80,000 Bitcoin target. And I want to show you before I go that I didn't show this last video, but down here, this little channel, you might not see us on other crypto YouTube channels. But the reason this is so valid to me and is confirmed is because this dotted line on the smaller one, like a support, exact support here, exact support here, exact support here. The bottom of this little guy, this exact support here, exact support here, and you see a little. It's just how it works. I've been watching these channels for a long time. These parallel channels. I don't want to confuse YouTube channels with parallel channels, but I really like these parallel channels. And where are we at now? 68,404. I do expect a rejection here pretty quick and Bitcoin to come back down. And I'll take profit on that short and open up another long at some point. But I'm just doing that just based on experience. One thing I do need to say is the volume. Go to the daily chart. The volume down here on the bottom is very, very small, and that does worry me. See the volume down here? Very, very small. If heavy selling came into this market for some reason, Bitcoin could drop like a rock. And I would watch the 50,000s, low 50,000s as really nice buying area, and probably your best last buying opportunity for the next couple of years. And that's enough. You got my gist. What I'm doing is I'm anticipating the pump the Bitcoin pump, maybe $80,000-$90,000 in the near term. But I'm also preparing for the dump. As you can see, I'm keeping my short open, and in an hour from now, Bitcoin might dump down to 65,000, and I might close this short down and open up a long. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do it at that time. So it's not really something I can say, do this and that and what, I'm just doing it spur of the moment based on experience, and it's working beautifully for me. I can all but guarantee it at some point here in the near future, I will take profit on this short because Bitcoin will go under $67,000. And that's enough. Just watch out. Anticipate the pump. Anticipate the bull flag continuation pattern pump. $80,000 area, give or take. Maybe the high 70,000s. The bigger channel is a $9,000 target. The big channel with the little channel on bottom is a $12,500 target. So that would, basically, if it busted out in the next few days, you'd be talking about $77,000 to $80,000 Bitcoin. And that's not going to go straight up in an hour, but it could take just a day or two. It could be rapid. Anticipating bull flag continuation pattern to 80,000, preparing for Bitcoin to dump to 50. That's my game plan. I would advise anyone out there listening. This is financial advice. I'm tired of listening to people sit here and give out all this advice to the public and then turn around and say, this is not financial advice. This is financial advice. I'm not a professional financial advisor, and I have money in exactly what I'm doing, what I'm saying. Therefore, it's perfectly legal for me to say this is financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, and I do have money at risk doing exactly what I'm talking about. I can do that. This is advice. And do your own homework. Be your own boss. That's what this is all about. Have a good day. Later.